taken well into center field. It'll fall for a base hit, and the Tigers will score their second run of the game. Lifted left field. Could be problematic, and it is. As it falls, rolls to the wall. Thompson is in to score. Burks rounding third. She will also come in to score. Rounding third is Knopp, and she is in to score as well, and Owens is in at third. A 3-run triple for J.C. Owens. On a cool and crisp night for softball at Fort Harris Park on the outskirts of Urbana, Illinois, Urbana Public Television welcomes you to Urbana Girls Summer Softball tonight. The Urbana 16 and under Harmon team in their second leg of a doubleheader against Tuscola, this time against Tuscola Team 2. We are underway. This is Haley Downs for Tuscola in the batter's box, down in the count 0-2. The pitcher for Urbana, Abby Brown, who played second base one game ago and has now moved into the circle to close out the night. And Haley Downs, the third baseman for Tuscola, behind 0-2, swings and misses. Check that, she fouled it off, got a piece of it, and sent it back to the backstop, still 0-2. If you're just joining us fresh into this game, Game 1 was a 15-5 win for Urbana. Game that started out pretty evenly. Urbana eventually pulled away and scored a 10-run win. 1 inning early, it ended in 6 innings rather than going the full 7. Downs is now even the count, it's 2-2. And now she'll swing and miss at strike 3 and return to the dugout. So a strikeout for Abby Brown to open things up. And Sophia James, the second batter, to step into the box for Tuscola. She is at shortstop tonight, and she takes one to short. Throw across the diamond will be in time. Urbana shortstop Haley Thompson over to first baseman Shayla Burks for the out. That'll bring up Anna Rogath. Rogath also takes this one to short, and it's Thompson to Burks for the third out. So 3 up, 3 down for Tuscola. And after a half inning of play, it's still scoreless. And ladies and gentlemen, I am Joey Wright, joined at times throughout the evening by our executive producer, Jason Liggett. Happy to be bringing you our 4th game of our broadcast schedule this season for Urbana Summer Softball. We were also out here at Fort Harris yesterday evening for a 10 and under matchup and a 12 and under matchup between Urbana and St. Joseph. St. Joseph took 2 from Urbana last night with a 14-13 win in Game 1 and a 19-4 win in the back half of that doubleheader. For Urbana here in the bottom half of the first frame, we will see Destiny Pryor, the catcher for the Tigers, pitcher Abby Brown, and shortstop Haley Thompson. Pryor also led things off in Game 1 for the Urbana lineup, so she's no stranger to the top of the order. And it'll be Anna Rogath in the circle for Tuscola. She finishes her warm-up routine. Catcher Claire Meyer fires a throw down to second, and we are just about set and ready to get the bottom half of the first inning underway. A potentially rainy Friday night here on the outskirts of Urbana, Illinois. Rain is expected later in the evening, but in talking with Urbana coach Billy Harmon before the game, we think we can get this one in. As Pryor steps up, and we are underway in the bottom of the first. 2-0 to Pryor. Abby Brown on deck for the Tigers. And a bit of an off-speed pitch in the zone for strike one. Count now even at 2-2. We'll see how Pryor handles this situation. High and outside, rather high and inside for ball three. The count now full. Brown eagerly awaiting on deck. And it'll be a walk for Destiny Pryor to lead things off for the Tigers. So pitcher Abby Brown now in the box. And we'll see how Anna Rogath responds with a breaking ball in for strike one. Inside, Pryor will take second as Brown got out of the way. Throw across the diamond to third. Not in time and a little wide. This is fouled right back to the backstop. It will roll down and fall in for a foul ball. 1-2 the count.
Good opportunity here for Urbana to strike first with a runner on third and no out.
Popped up, left field, it is dropped. And across to score is Pryor. Looking for third is Brown, she'll take it. And that'll bring J.C. Owens, check that, Haley Thompson to the plate as the Tigers have now opened up a 1-0 lead. Inside. Thompson out of the way. And it's 0-1. Also inside 2-0. So on deck is Shayla Burks. Now a 3-0 count for Thompson. Swing and a miss. Now 2-1. Taken well into center field. It'll fall for a base hit. And the Tigers will score their second run of the game as Abby Brown crosses the plate to score, and the Tigers up 2-0. Solid base hit for Haley Thompson. And Shayla Burks to the plate with one on and nobody out. Just as was the case in the last game, the Tigers batting 11 and Tuscola batting 9. Taken past third base. Runner will advance and a base hit for Burks as Thompson advances to second.
Urbana bats have really come out swinging here for the second game of this doubleheader. Perhaps they got the momentum going in the first and then carry all over. You always wonder about these doubleheaders, if they're able to carry things over that you want or forget about things that you don't want. Obviously, in Tuscola's case, a whole new team here, as it's Tuscola 2.
And up to the plate is Valencia Canop with 2 on and nobody out. Oh, and a healthy crowd here at Fort Harris Park for this, the second leg of the doubleheader. Of course, the Urbana crowd has stuck around, and Tuscola has packed in a couple of new fans. And a 3-1 count. Canop at the plate with J.C. Owens on deck. And Canop will draw the walk. So that'll advance Burks to second and Thompson to third. As it's J.C. Owens at third base for Urbana tonight in game 2. At the plate with the bases loaded, nobody out. This is a big chance for the Tigers. This is a swing and miss. Strike 1. Inside for a ball. 2-1 they count. Just joining us, Urbana has loaded the bases with nobody out. They are already ahead 2-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning of play. Lifted left field. Could be problematic, and it is. As it falls, rolls to the wall. Thompson is in to score. Burks rounding third. She will also come in to score. Rounding third is Canop, and she is in to score as well, and Owens is in at third. A 3-run triple for J.C. Owens.
Big first inning here for Urbana, exactly what you want to see if you're Coach Billy Harmon. That offense has carried over well into this second game, and one right after the other. They're keeping the line moving here.
So a 3-run, 3-bagger for Owens. Tuscola will call a meeting in the circle. They don't want to let this spiral further out of control. As even with the bases mostly cleared, the Tigers still have a runner at third and nobody out.
You heard due up next for Urbana. She's starting at second base this evening.
And it's her, as Jason alluded to a moment ago, and this is fouled just a few inches away from the batter's box used by left-handed hitters. That's called the ball. In there for a strike to her. 1-2 our count. High for ball 3. Uher lifts it to first base. Gloved for the first out. And Owens holds at third. So an F3 for Uher for those keeping score at home. And Mackenzie Brigham in right field for the Tigers along with Maddie Byers tonight. At the plate with a runner at third. And lifts one into left. It is dropped. And Owens will score easily. The Tigers now ahead by 6. 6-0 in the bottom of the first. And I was just getting ready to say, Jason, that the sac fly possibility was still in effect with that runner at third base. And only one out, nearly a sac fly situation there, but the ball misplayed and left, and the Tigers able to score their 6th run.
Well, that pitch was right where McKaysey wanted it, right in the center of the plate. She's able to lift that out to left field and got lucky to where they couldn't come up with the catch, and safely at first and gets the RBI for the Tigers. So a big first inning here for Urbana.
And a big situation for Reed. Big swing at that one. Proves fruitless. Still ahead in the count, though, 2-1. It's Brigham at first, Reed at the plate, and on deck, Kyra Buford. This is outside, 3-1. Fouled towards us, but luckily the backstop was in the way to stop that one. Many a flinch in the crowd. We will do it again. Count remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. So Kira Buford will stride up to the plate with now 2 on and 1 out. Brigham at second base and Nazira Reed at first. And Kira Buford splitting the duties in left field with Nazira Reed in this one. In the dirt, ball 1, and interesting now, this is the second game in a row that Coach Harmon has set his lineup this way. Valencia Knopp in center field, and then a rotating cast of characters in right field and left field. Both Buford and Byers listed as flex players as this is lifted into left. And gloved out there in left field by Taylor Gordon. Taylor Gordon making the play out there in left, so now 2 away for the Tigers. And it's Maddie Byers.
If Byers gets on board, the Tigers would have batted around in the bottom of the first here.
As a fan, I'm always, of course, a fan of my team batting around. But as a broadcaster keeping score, it's always a bit of a nuisance because then it kind of throws everything a little bit off.
It can get a little sloppy.
Yep.
My scorecard normally a mess from the beginning, so it doesn't really affect me. It's the same whether anything happens. I don't keep a neat scorecard.
But then at least the way I do it, well, we'll hold that thought as it's taken to third, and the Tigers won't bat around. Luckily, we are spared of a sloppy situation there. That's Byers putting it on the ground to third for the third out. And for those keeping score at home, a 5 unassisted.
Yeah, it's Haley Downs for Tuscola 2, fielding that ball and stepping right on third for the force out.
We are underway here in the top of the second inning. And the batter, Claire Meyer for Tuscola, takes it to short, and it'll skip under the glove of Haley Thompson. And Meyer is aboard at first base. So this will be Kenzie Heckler at the plate here now for Tuscola, and she looks at strike one. So Kenzie Heckler at the plate with Kaylee Heckler on deck. This is taken well into right field, and it'll drop misread out there in right. And looking for third base is Claire Meyer. She has it. She's in time.
So Tuscola not getting down and answering back here. They've yet to cross the plate, but they're in good position to do so with runners at the corners and no out here in the top of the second.
And it's now Kaylee Heckler at the plate with Maddie Ramos on deck, and taking second base is Heckler. Fouled into a tree. Fan tried to make a play, couldn't quite do it.
He had a couple things going on. I think he had a little one that he was taking care of. He was trying to field foul balls. He was multitasking there.
That he was. Count now 1-2.
Heckler made her way over to second. So runners on second and third now. As a strike thrown in there, strike number 3.
So Kaylee Heckler down on strikes. Maddie Ramos now to the plate. And Ramos looks at strike 1. So it's Ramos with Becca Brusetti on deck. Fouled to the backstop. foul down the first base line. Past the catcher and in. Scoring is Claire Meyer, the first run of the game for Tuscola. As Heckler advances to third on that exchange. And that'll bring up Becca Brusetti with the runner. I should say with runners at the corners and only one away. She'll show a bunt, pull it back. And in motion at first base was Maddie Ramos, but she will return to the bag as well as Kenzie Heckler. Two and 0. To second. Tries to go Maddie Ramos, but she's thrown out.
Well, he shouldn't have told everybody. I don't know if the audio picked up on that, but the coach said, "You're stealing Maddie." I'm telling everybody. But they did get a run across as Urbana threw out Maddie there at second. But Tuscola scores as Kenzie Heckler crossed the plate. It's a 6-2 ball game now.
And just short for the third out. Becca Brusetti flies out to Haley Thompson, and that'll end the top of the second. And if you're Urbana there on that, rather if you're Tuscola on that exchange where Maddie Ramos was thrown out at second, you're pretty happy with how that went. I think it's a situation where you're content to trade an out for a run down this many runs early on. That puts it at a 4-run game heading to the bottom of the second. So a manageable deficit here as we move further into the game.
Yeah, we'll see if Urbana can pick up where they left off. They'll be back at the top of the order with Destiny Pryor leading off. Pryor catching this game for Urbana. Game 1 in this Urbana Harmon 16 and under. She was the shortstop against Tuscola 1.
And in Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers a 7-0 lead over the Cincinnati Reds in the 6th inning.
You must have a whole different view on who's watching this broadcast. I don't think there's too many Rangers fans.
Oh, Jason, there are.
And if they are, they're probably not watching us. They're probably watching the Rangers.
Well, there are millions of Rangers fans across this great nation. Some of them have to get their softball fix as well. And if you're a Reds fan, you're probably not watching too many Reds games this season. They're okay, but I don't believe they'll contend for anything down the stretch of the season. So this is Destiny Pryor, count 1 and 2, and she takes one down the line at third. Foul ball, just barely. And that might have been extra bases had it been just a few inches to the right. And to first base will go Pryor. She draws the walk.
So Urbana with the leadoff on here in the top of the second, and a 4-run lead. Brown shows bunt, bunts it in the air. Tuscola trying to get her out, throws away the ball to first, and coming around to score is Destiny Pryor.
And by the time that's all said and done, Brown winds up at third base. So Haley Thompson at shortstop, the third batter of the frame for Urbana. As many Tigers did last inning, she scored a run. Thompson takes one well into right field. It's caught. But that'll drive a run in as Abby Brown comes in to score. Haley Thompson, a sacrifice fly, and the Tigers go up 8-2.
Good catch out there from Becca Brusetti of Tuscola 2.
Throw across the diamond is in time to retire Shayla Burks. 6-3 put out there, and it's Valencia Canop to the plate with 2 away, and the base is clear.
That ball falls right in the middle of 3 defenders from Tuscola, and reaching first base safely is Canop.
That'll bring up JC Owens to the plate. Tripled her last time around, drove in 3 runs.
Yeah, big at bat last time from JC.
Owens takes strike 1. High for a ball, ball 1. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Inside. And a 2-2 count to Owens now. That'll also fall inside, so a full count now. Three balls, 2 strikes. And she'll take a walk. To first base goes Canop, and JC Owens at first base with Sydney Uher now set to stand in.
Uher made good contact last time around, popped out. She shows bunt here.
And that'll go foul. And Uher takes a strike as the runners advance. So it's Knopp at third, J.C. Owens at second, and Uher taking ball two. The count even at 2-2 with 2 outs. On deck would be Mackenzie Brigham. Mackenzie Brigham on deck. As Uher takes a ball, 2-2. To third, to short. Misplayed ever so slightly, and that's enough to allow Knopp in. She scores, and the Tigers now go ahead by 7.
So a good RBI single there for Sydney Uher.
And I think I had remarked that the bases were loaded. They were not. So the Tigers now with runners at the corners. And as soon as I say that, J.C. Owens comes in to score, and Uher advances to second base. So make that a 10-2 advantage for the U. As Sydney Uher advances to second base. So it's 1 on and 2 outs for Brigham. Inside for a ball.
Way to watch now. Knock it out there.
Big swing and a relatively large miss there from Brigham, and now we've got a now Uher, and she's out at the plate. Uher hesitated a little bit as the ball was misplayed at third. Not misplayed at third, I think it was a bad throw, and Uher kind of got caught in a race to the plate there. Tuscola wins. And we go to the third with Urbana up 10-2.
Well, it wasn't very pretty looking, but that play ended nonetheless. Catcher running backwards as she caught that, kind of fell over and got hit over by Uher, but held on to the ball for the third and final out of the second inning. So the Tigers get 4 across there to increase their lead to 8. It's a 10-2 ball game.
So it'll be Brucetti, Gordon, Downs for Tuscola here in the top of the third.
I think it might be Gordon leading stuff off. I thought I had Brucetti as popping out last out of the second inning.
You may well be right. We'll soon see.
What's on the line here?
Oh man, you were right. You know, I don't think I recorded the Brucetti play, so I see that before she even comes up to the plate.
Keeping things interesting.
That we are.
Well, it looks like there's a little hesitation on Tuscola's part as well, as they're yelling for a batter on the field.
Taylor Gordon, the left fielder for Tuscola in this one.
Come on, Taylor.
Remember, Tuscola only batting 9 in this one, whereas Urbana batting 11. Tuscola, even though their high school mascot is the Warriors, I don't believe they have a mascot here, the 16 and under team, though they do wear the same colors, orange and yellow, or orange and yellow, yellow and black.
Orange and yellow to be an interesting scheme. I can't think of any. What sports team has an orange and yellow? Anyone?
Oh, I'd have to think.
There's probably a college team somewhere that does.
Yeah. Orange and yellow. I don't know. That's two warm colors. Learned that in art class. As Tuscola now flips back to the top of the order and Haley Downs. A strike to Downs. Taken back to the circle, flip over to first is in time. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Sophia James.
Plenty of words of encouragement from the Tuscola dugout for Sophie James.
To right and caught, and that'll end the inning. James put one in play to right field, and Mackenzie Brigham was in a position to make the play. She did so, and that ends the top of the third. 1, 2, 3, go the Warriors. Not the Warriors.
Three up.
Tuscola.
There you go. 3 up, 3 down. Just what Dr. Harmon ordered.
But I said Warriors because, you know, I did a quick Google search for teams with yellow and orange in their color scheme, brought up a few results. The Golden State Warriors. How about that old look they had, the Baron Davis era digs they wore, the orange and yellow. Old school Vancouver Canucks look for our hockey fans out there, what they wore in the 80s and into the 90s. The Spokane Shock arena football team for
Well, that's a bit of a stretch.
Indoor football fans. A lot of these teams have blue also in the color scheme.
Did the Warriors?
They did not.
They were just yellow and orange.
No, they might have had some. They wore some blue as well. The Warriors
yeah, I thought
did.
so.
Yeah, the Canucks did
Traditionally, they're yellow and blue. I mean, back in the Chris Webber days and the
San Diego Padres back in the day, orange, yellow, and brown. See how many of these I can find before we get going. Got a 4-page thread on the subject on sportslogos.net.
Oh my!
So
somebody has too much time on their hands.
I'm a frequent visitor of sportslogos.net and the boards.
Well, I stand by my statement.
I do have a lot of free time. As we are now underway here in the bottom of the third. Mackenzie Brigham, who closed out the top of the third with that catch out there in right field. And this is taken to short. Throw across the diamond will be in time. Brigham down on a great throw from Sophia James.
Reed walked her first time up. See what she can do here in the third for Urbana.
Perhaps an obvious one, but the Phoenix Suns. Also some purple in there, but their logo exclusively black, orange, and yellow.
I don't think I would describe that as their colors, though. That was Now I think all credibility is lost, Joey.
Oh,
I
man.
don't believe you for anything.
And
And Reed hit by the pitch. She's going to trot her way down to first. And the Tigers have a runner on here with 1 out in the third and an 8-run lead. Brings up Buford to the plate.
who takes an inside ball number 1.
Knock it out there now.
That'll skip into the outfield, and we might have a play at third. A good throw, but some good base running from Desira Reed negates that. She's safe at third. Standing up. Kira Buford at the plate. Buford ahead 2-0 in the count. She'll take one to second. It should score the run. And she's retired at first base there on the 4-3 putout. But the run isn't to score, Desira Reed. The 11th run for the Tigers on the board. And that'll bring up Maddie Byers.
So good job by Kira to make contact on that one and bring Reed home. 9-run lead now for Urbana, 11-2 in the bottom of the third.
And Maddie takes one. The pitcher will field it. And the throw to first is in time. So from a 6-3 to a 4-3 to a 1-3, Tuscola escapes the bottom of the third without too much damage inflicted upon them. Desira Reed with a run. And not a whole lot more than that. Not any more than that. Big thank you to our viewers who joined us live on Facebook before moving over to YouTube to catch the remainder of the game. A little technical difficulty with our Facebook live stream knocked us off the air earlier, but we are still on YouTube and on Urbana Public Television. On television. A lot of ways to watch Urbana Girls Summer Softball this summer. Anna Rogath for Tuscola. And taking it into the outfield, a base hit. And that'll bring up Claire Meyer, the catcher for Tuscola. Popped up to second. It's caught. Oh, it's dropped. And that would have been a double play if it had been held onto there at second. Instead, Tuscola will have runners at first and second and nobody out.
Well, unfortunate for Urbana, but fortunate for Tuscola there. We'll see if they can do anything with it here or if Urbana can bounce back.
Kenzie Heckler pops one foul behind us. Over the backstop at Wynn.
Waiting for you. All the kids went home. Oh.
Taking foul down the line.
And no play there for Urbana.
So now Urbana in a precarious situation. The base is loaded and nobody out. And the batter, Kaylee Heckler.
Big point in the game right here for Tuscola if they plan to make a comeback. And they're poised to do so with no out, as you mentioned, Joey.
Inside. So a 1-0 count. Chopped on the plate and a foul ball. 1-1. Outside, and it's 3-1.
See if Abby Brown can fire in a strike here, give her something to swing at.
She can. So the count runs full. Still nobody out, so a strikeout here would be huge for the Tigers. Full count offering is swung on and missed. Down on strikes goes Kaylee Heckler. Abby Brown, a huge strikeout. And it's up to Maddie Ramos now with an out and the bases loaded. She rips one foul down the line. That would have scored a few. Instead, it's strike one.
Yeah, that had a 3 RBI double written all over it, but thankfully, foul down the third base side for strike number 1.
Popped up behind us.
And I thought it got stuck in the tree up there. My eyes went bad on me.
That was my concern. Instead, it's strike 2. So some solid contact, some good swings from Ramos. But with one out and the bases loaded, she's down 0-2. Remember, Tuscola trails 11-2. And it's fouled away. I'm going to say she got a piece of that, so. And she didn't get much of it, but enough to justify a foul ball call. That'll run inside, and we might have a play at the plate. Oh, we won't because the ball was not caught, and we might have another play at the plate. Might have a play at third. No, we won't. So a run is in for Tuscola. Anna Rogath helps her own cause a little bit. Comes in to score, and advancing to third is Claire Meyer, and to second, Kenzie Heckler. Now Ramos with 2 in scoring position and 1 out. Swings and misses at strike 3, so now 2 outs. And it'll be Becca Brusetti in right field.
Well, with 2 out here, and if Urbana holds Tuscola to only 1 run across the plate, that'll be huge as the bases were loaded with no out. That ball gets away from Pryor, and another run comes across for Tuscola to make it a 7-run ball game now. Urbana up 11-4.
Swing and a miss, drop third strike. The throw is high to first. So Tuscola will score another run. Throw to second is in time. So Tuscola will get the run. but Becca Brusetti is thrown out going for second base, and that'll end the inning.
So Tuscola gets 3 across in the top of the 4th to make it an 11-5 ball game. By my scorecard, at least. Still waiting for the scoreboard over there to add that 5th run. Pryor's due up for the Tigers. She drew a walk back in the 1st, back in the 2nd.
And it'll be Destiny Pryor leading off for the Tigers in the bottom of the 4th.
Meeting on the mound to start the inning for Tuscola. Just so everyone's on the same page. See if they can keep the momentum rolling. Tigers have scored in each inning so far. 6 in the 1st, 5 in the 2nd, and 1 in the 3rd.
Taken hard down the line, and that'll get into the outfield, a base hit for Pryor.
Real good rip there from Destiny Pryor.
So now Abby Brown to the plate. Bunted. And this is going to be big for the Tigers as the throw goes wide of first base. In to score is Pryor, and stopping at second is Brown. Tigers go back ahead by 7. It is 12-5.
No, still going to be 11-5. Only gave them 1 base because the ball went out of the entire field.
Ah, I see.
So runners on 2nd and 3rd now. Still an 11-5 game with no out.
To short, and that is going to be an out at first. So Shayla Burks to the plate. Scored a run in the 1st inning, grounded out to short in the 2nd. 1 for 2 entering this one. Little high there on that offering, and it's ball 1. That one also a little bit high. 2-1, 2-0. Inside ball 3. that'll be high, ball 4. Burks will take her base. Abby Brown at second and Pryor at third. Batter now Valencia Knopp with the bases loaded and 1 away.
Knopp 1 for 1 this second game of the evening. She had a single back in the second.
Knopp looks at ball 1.
I guess I wasn't here for the first. What'd she do in the first, Joe?
She scored a run. I don't know. No, she drew a walk and then
Okay.
scored a run.
So I was still right, 1 for 1.
1 for 1.
Happened to be out in the outfield setting up that camera at the time, I think.
And it looks beautiful out there. Did a good job.
I told you, there's no rain. They didn't believe me at first.
Foul ball down the line. Almost called fair. Well, not almost called fair. It almost was fair. Good call by the defense to wait a minute to glove it. Well, if it rains, you're getting that camera in the rain. You set it up.
It's not raining. We're safe.
As Knopp gets hit with the pitch, that'll bring in another run. So Destiny Pryor does come in to score after a little break. Not a little break, a little delay. She scored initially a few moments ago, but then now comes in to score for real. And it's now 12-5. J.C. Owens now at the plate. Owens, that big triple in the first inning really broke the game open early. Also came around to score in the second inning. So it's been a good night for J.C. Owens. Made a couple of plays in game 1. A 15-5 win for the Tigers. Swings and misses a big offering at that, and it's 1-1. Runs a little bit inside. 2 balls and a strike. Oh, what a good pitch. And a 2-1 count now. 2-2 with an out. That'll run inside. Ball 3, the count full with an out.
All right, come on, you got it now. Make it be there, JC. Don't help her.
Lifted into left. And it will fall. Still might have a play at third. And upon further review, we will not.
So an RBI single there for J.C. Owens. 2 for 2 on the evening with a walk.
Scores Abby Brown. Burks advances to third. Knopp to second. Owens aboard at first. And the batter, Sydney Uher. Inside. 3-0. And that'll run inside ball 4. So the Tigers score a run here on the bases loaded walk. Shayla Burks crosses the plate. Knopp to third, Owens to second, and Uher aboard at first.
Now a 9-run ball game here as Urbana leads 14-5 in the bottom of the 4th.
Is the mercy rule 10 after 4 or 5?
5. Looked like everybody in the stands knew that except for you, Joey.
well, I'm a little crossed up because in the kickball league, for which I am an umpire, the rule is 10 after 4.
Gotcha.
So. Well, the Tigers will be 3 outs away from victory here when we get to the top of the 5th because 2 runs have come in to score on a single from Mackenzie Brigham. Knopp was the first and Owens was the second.
Still just 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Runners on first and second for Nazira Reed.
We've got a fan in a full Spider-Man costume running around out here.
It's Friday night. Let's get wild.
Friday the 14th, as this is taken to third. Got the out at first. I think the easier play might have been at third there, but Tuscola gets the out at first nevertheless. Just the same. And it's Kira Buford. Buford splitting the duties in left field tonight with Nazira Reed. Takes ball 1. Inside for a ball. 2-0.
Ooh, that one must have nibbled the inside corner there. Called for strike 1.
Two and one count. 3-1 count. 2 outs, working the 4th inning, bottom of the 4th. That'll run inside and a walk for Buford. And here we go with a bases loaded situation for Urbana. Maddie Byers. To left, a nice hit, and that will fall. Misplayed a little bit out there in left, and two more runs will come in to score for Urbana.
So a 2 RBI single there for Maddie, her first hit of the game. And Urbana now up 18-5.
It's breaking through in a big way. To the top of the order now in Destiny Pryor. Tigers have now batted around in the 4th inning. Pryor behind the plate for Urbana has come around to score every time she's reached base, which has been 3 times tonight.
Well, let's make it a 4th.
Yeah. She has 2 on, Kira Buford and Maddie Byers at first base. To left field. Runners will hold. Is there a 15 after 4 rule also in effect? We'll soon perhaps find out. I only asked because in reading the 10 and under rules, that was mentioned. So, well, a raindrop just fell on the middle finger of my left hand.
Some good detail, Joe.
I mean, I could show you, but that would entail an inappropriate gesture. But I mean, it square on the digit there. It landed. Ball and 2 strikes. Batter is Abby Brown. Foul to the backstop. We'll do it again. I have a feeling that, Jason, the rain's going to hold off until the game ends, after which the skies may open.
Meteorologist Joey Wright here at Prairie Park.
Don't get me started on meteorologists. There's been a lot to discuss in the area lately. Are you aware of the Joe Crane situation? Oh, my goodness.
There goes your prediction there. Raining here at Prairie Park. It's an 18-5 ball game here in the bottom of the 4th. Urbana leads.
The rain is here. Fouled away. The rain has arrived. It's coming down. Luckily, it's not one of those tornadoes we talked about in the first game. So it's Brown at the plate, 2 outs, bases loaded. She'll draw a walk, and the Tigers up 19-5. So the batter now is Haley Thompson. Thompson batting with a 19-4 lead. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Rain has lightened up just a little bit, but for a moment there it was coming down at a pretty good clip. Now reduced to a light sprinkle as it's Thompson with Byers at third. And the base is otherwise loaded.
And it really has been all Urbana all night, really. First and second game here against Tuscola. They've got a 14-run lead now, 19-5 in the bottom of the 4th of the second game. They won by the 10-run rule in the first game.
High for ball 3, it's 3-1. And this could well be the last at-bat of the game, if there is a 15-run rule in effect. I mean, outside for a strike. Three and 2 with 2 outs. Taken to left. Should stay fair, and it falls. But it's foul. Man, I suppose I just don't have a very good vantage point up here.
Well, that would have plated a few there had it stayed fair over the head of the left fielder.
Instead, we'll do the 3-2 again. Outside for a ball. And that'll do it. A 15-run rule in effect and a 20-5 win for the Tigers over Tuscola 2 in Game 2. Jason, your final thoughts.
Well, as I said, it was all Urbana all evening long, especially here in the second game. Their offense was clicking on all cylinders as they win this one by 15.
A good night for the Tigers and a good night for us here on Urbana Public Television. We're back out here at Fort Harris Park again next Thursday. More summer softball action for you then, but until now, 2 wins for the Tigers on this Friday evening. And that's where we'll leave you. So for Jason Liggett, I'm Joey Wright. Thank you for watching this presentation of Urbana Girls Summer Softball on Urbana Public Television. See you next time.